Okay, we've all been there, right? You're in a mobile game, totally in the zone, about to beat your high score, and then bam, an ad just pops up out of nowhere. Well, today we're going to dig into how one specific type of ad didn't just survive this wave of frustration, it actually thrived by completely flipping the script on how mobile ads work. I mean, seriously, who hasn't? That feeling of getting yanked out of the game by some loud, obnoxious, unskippable ad, it's the worst. And that universal frustration, that right there is the core problem the entire mobile industry was staring down. So before we jump to the clever solution, we really need to understand the problem. The folks who studied this call it the age of annoyance. And what was the weapon of choice in this age? The dreaded forced ad. And I absolutely love this metaphor for it, a digital tax. It's just perfect, isn't it? Because that's exactly what it feels like. It's not something you choose, it's something that's forced on you. A tax you have to pay with your time and your attention just to get back to what you are actually trying to do. And that tax, it has some pretty serious costs. First off, it absolutely shatters your focus, that amazing flow state when you're completely absorbed in the game. It starts to feel less like a feature and more like a punishment for playing. Over time, our brains get good at just ignoring them, something they call ad blindness. And, the final straw? If it gets too annoying, we just delete the app. Simple as that. But then something really interesting happened. A revolution began. And the wild part is, it wasn't about new tech or faster processors. No, this was all about psychology. It was a completely different way of thinking, and it led to the rise of the rewarded ad. And you can see the difference right here, plain as day. The forced ad, that's an intrusion. The rewarded ad is all about consent. One feels like a tax you're forced to pay. The other feels like a fair exchange. It shifts you from being the victim of an interruption to being the beneficiary of a deal. You actually get something valuable out of it. And this all taps into a really powerful, really human psychological principle, reciprocity. It's this simple idea that when someone gives us something, we feel this natural, almost subconscious urge to give a little something back. So the game offers you something awesome, a power-up, extra coins, whatever. And in return, giving 30 seconds of your attention doesn't feel like a tax anymore. It just feels fair. So let's walk through what that actually feels like as a player. First, you see an offer for something you genuinely want, something that will help you in the game. Second, you make the choice to watch. It's your call. Third, you get that reward right away. And the final step, the feeling, it's not annoyance. It's empowerment. You feel like you just made a smart, strategic move. And this is where things get really cool, because it leads to this mind-bending question. What if an ad could stop feeling like an ad altogether? What if it could just become part of the game? Yeah, this quote really just nails it. The moment an ad starts serving your goals as the player, it stops being advertising and it starts being, well, a power-up. It's a tool, it's a resource, just like anything else in the game that helps you win. Okay, let's make this super concrete. Say you're playing one of those farming simulator games. Instead of waiting hours for your crops to grow, you could watch a quick ad to speed things up. Or, hey, maybe unlock that shiny premium tractor you've been eyeing. Even better, you just failed a super tough level. You can watch an ad to revive and get a second chance. See? The ad isn't interruption. It's now part of your winning strategy. Okay, so this is obviously way better for the player. We get that. But here's the real kicker, the part that turned the industry on its head. This model is actually way better for business too. Giving players a choice turned out to be wildly profitable. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds completely backward, right? How could more ads possibly lead to people playing a game longer? But the data doesn't lie. Players who actively choose to watch rewarded ads stick around for way longer. And here's the logic behind it. Think about any game you've played. There's always a point where you hit a difficulty wall. It gets super hard, you get stuck, and that's when most people get frustrated and just quit. Well, a rewarded ad acts like a safety valve. It gives you that little boost you need to get over the hump, to keep making progress, and, most importantly, to keep having fun. And a happy player who feels like they're moving forward, that's a player who opens the app again tomorrow. So when you really step back and look at the whole picture, it's not just a win-win. It's a win-win-win. It's amazing. Players win because they get control, rewards, and more fun. Developers win because they get players who stick around longer and, yes, higher revenue. And what about the advertisers? They win big time. They get 100% of your attention because you chose to watch, which creates a positive vibe around their brand, not an annoying one. It's this beautiful, perfect loop. And if you want to see the proof, well, here's the money shot. That term, eCPM, it's just fancy industry talk for how much money a game makes for every 1,000 ad views. And look at that difference. Because people who watch rewarded ads are so much more engaged, advertisers are willing to pay way more for that ad space. So what does that mean? More money for the developers. And it all comes from one simple thing: respecting the player. So let's zoom out for a second and bring this all home. This whole thing, it's not really just about one type of ad. It's about a much bigger, much smarter strategy. It's about a fundamental shift toward putting the player first. It's about playing the long game, building a loyal, happy community that loves your game and wants to stick around. And the developers, who are true masters of this, they take it to the next level. They use these rewarded ads to actually help build a habit. They create what you could call a daily ritual, weaving the game right into the fabric of your daily routine. And how do they pull that off? It's so simple, it's brilliant. Often, it's with just one thing. One special, super valuable reward that you can only get once a day if you choose to watch an ad for it. That single little hook is powerful enough to get millions of people to open that app first thing in the morning, every single day. So really, the big takeaway is this: making money and making players happy don't have to be at war with each other. In fact, the whole success story of rewarded ads is built on one simple, beautiful truth. A happy player is a loyal player, and a loyal player is good for business. Which kind of leaves us with one final, fascinating question to chew on, doesn't it? If an ad is something you choose to watch, something that helps you win, and something that feels like part of the game, well, is it even really an ad at all?